Oh, hello Internet. Welcome back for another Oxleymations. I didn't hear you come in. For today's episode, I'm going to be branching out a little bit. I've talked about collectibles and stuff in the past, but today I'm going to give you a review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows Technodrome. Join me, shall we? Alright, so first things first, we gotta open up this box. And for that, we're going to need to do a little surgery. And children, if you're watching this, do not use sharp knives like this without supervision. I'm not a professional, but I know what I'm doing. Where is the... Ah, there we go. And we cut the tape on the top and the bottom of the box. Normally I like to try and peel the tape away, but I don't want to do any real damage to the graphics because I plan on keeping the box. So I say as I'm switching this thing around the table and scratching the heck out of them. And it appears as though we have even more tape. Cut all of the tape. Is there any tape on the tabs here? Just to be on the safe side. Alright, now that the tape's been eliminated, let's open her up. That was loud and annoying. Okay. So here we have, is it in frame? Alright, so here we have our Technodrome, which comes in several bags. And because it comes in several bags, you can just tell it comes in several parts. And we also get a little pamphlet of all the stuff you can get from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie Out of the Shadows. All these different play sets and thingamabobs. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here because we want to put this bad boy together. So now we take the insides of the box, which I don't mind if they get too damaged. And we throw them over to the side. Now we get our handy dandy instructions and we piece this puzzle together. Alright, now this piece looks like goes some maybe over. Yeah, that looks about right. And then, maybe put where that latches there. Yes, yeah, it's all coming together now. Now, let's take a look at the instructions. Okay, and then looks like maybe, come on, baby, you can do it. Get in there, you little so-and-so. Come on, just get in there. You know you want to. There we go. Oops, come on, little foot. Just, there you go. Just gotta slip this, there. Okay. Alright, now, what about these? Okay. Alright, now that that headache's out of the way, now we snap all this together like that, I think. Okay, good. And we're done. Oh. Okay, now according to the instructions, this piece attaches right about here. Okay, like that, and like, ha! Mm-hmm. Open up the skylight, get a good look at it. Alright, now H. Okay, now little elbow grease. Is that part supposed to be sticking out like that? I'm just gonna do that right there. There we go. Now let's tip this bad boy over. Okay, and then do this. Alright, now let's see how well this did. Why the hell is it moving? Okay. There we go. Wow! Alright, so after some strenuous hard labor, the Technodrome is finally finished. So now let's get a look at this little bad boy, shall we? Alright, so now we get a nice big old overview. Sorry if it's a little dark in here, but I don't have the best of lighting at the moment. So, having not seen the movie this is from, Ninja Turtles 2 Out of the Shadows, I'm not entirely sure why there's this big chunk missing out of it, like the Death Star. But, regardless, I think it's got a really nice future tech look to it. Blends a lot of the original cartoon into it, like all these bright purple hoses and wires and camera. Why did you go blurry on me? There we go. So like I was saying, all those purple hoses and stuff in there, which might be kind of hard to see in this lighting, so again I apologize for that. But it's got a lot of really neat little features to it. Like this, I'm not entirely sure what that's for, just like another little platform for your villains to stand on. One great thing that I'm glad that they brought back was the addition of these little foot-leg things to help stabilize this, because without that little piece there, this thing just cannot stay upright if you have this door open. Like, watch. And so now it proves me wrong. But, see, it falls over like a basketball. It just, yeah. And even when you do get it to stand up with that little foot up like that, anything bumps the table, it just, falls over. See, like that. But some of the other cool little features are the fact that they included a little jail, like in the original one, where you'll have like your heroes, your Ninja Turtles will be standing in the main room here, like telling, giving Krang the back talk, like, "Yo, Krang, you ain't nothing. We're gonna send you back to Dimension X," and he just burbles and he pushes the button, and the heroes drop down into the jail down here. Another interesting thing is that instead of on the original toy, where you had like just these stationary little bits of purple plastic, you actually have movable guns. Like these ones go up and down and they shoot. I forgot to mention that. They're not the best spring-loaded weapons I've ever seen, but they do their job. And you get not one, not two, but 3 of these awesome little missile launchers on this thing. That and the one thing that the original Technodrome never had that I think Krang would have definitely appreciated the inclusion of a sunroof, so that he can have the sun shining in while he's making his plans and just have himself a nice, good day. And the one other thing that I'm a bit sad that they did not include on this one that was on the original toy was the feature that had like the eyeball that was on top. A lot of my older fans know what I'm talking about, where it would just be sitting on the top here, and there would be like this thing on the inside where you'd pull down on it, the eye would pop off, roll down, and like bowl over all your Ninja Turtle figures. Though they did kind of incorporate it, because I don't know if you can see it, but right here they have this symbol on it that almost looks like the pattern on the original eyeball. Trying to get some better lighting. There we go. Right here, if you can kind of see that. There it is right there. But little nitpicks aside, I like this little playset. It's got a lot of cool details, it's got some functionality, it closes up nicely, but without the inclusion of this wall on this side here, you can't really use it as like a carrying case for your figures as well as you could with the original. But again, nitpicks aside, it's a cool little playset. Alright, now as an added bonus for you guys, I'm not just going to be opening up this and showing you what it does. I'm also going to be throwing in a figure review. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows Donatello figure. Duh. And don't mind the price tag on that, I paid less than that because we had a Kmart that's going out of business, which is also the only reason I was able to get my hands on the Technodrome, but that's neither here nor there. So, let's get a look at the packaging on this guy. Nice blister card here. A little dusty because I've been having him sit around in my room for a while waiting to do this review. Also, I would say check out the artwork, but again, we got that stupid price sticker in the way, so we won't worry about that on the front. On the back here, we got a nice group shot of all four of the turtles, Mikey, Donnie, Leo, and Raphael. And then we have a group shot of the figures that were available for this line. And we've got not 4, not 8, not 12, but 14 different figures we could get from this line. And having not seen this movie yet, I can't really go into detail about who all's here and like if these three are actually characters in the movie. So let's just move right on to breaking Donatello here out of his box, shall we? Okay, so now that we got Donatello out of his shell, let's go ahead and take a quick little look at the figure here. One thing right off the bat that I'm not too thrilled about with these guys is, as you can probably tell, they are quite top-heavy if you try to posture them appropriately. So if you guys want to have these on display, they're going to be walking around like they threw out their back, or like they, did something in their pants that they shouldn't have. Stand up, you. Another little thing that I've noticed, since I'm going to give up on trying to get him to stand for the moment, is a little nitpick with the thumbs. If you look really closely, it looks like they drilled out too much when they were giving him the shape of his hands, because his thumbs are really, really super flexible, and it seems like if you apply too much pressure, say if you were going to put his bow staff in his hands, that could just about break off. If this were a bit of a tighter plastic, harder plastic. And see, that doesn't look right at all. But regardless, we're not here to put a bow staff in the hand of a turtle. We're here to test the pitfalls of the Technodrome. Let's do it, shall we? Oh, and also, he comes with a drone. Now then, to the Technodrome. Alright, so now we've got Donatello here getting ready to face against Krang. I forgot to grab one of my vintage Krangs because I don't have a modern one. So we got Batman standing in for Krang. Here we go. You won't defeat us, Krang. Swear to me, where's the drugs? And ta-da! Yeah, your turtle knocked down into the jail of the Technodrome. Now, unlike the original Technodrome, which had a jail compartment which literally went straight across from here all the way to here, This one just has this center cylinder right here. So with the original one, you get like maybe 4 or 6 figures in there. This one, I'm thinking, given the size of these guys, maybe you'll be able to get 2 of them in there if you try really hard. But regardless, I actually really do like this action feature. It's what you get, Michael Bay's Ninja Turtles. Get thrown in jail. The Batman! And now another feature I almost forgot to mention, which is a throwback to the original playset, is this door right here. Now this is an escape hatch for Krang, and well, since the other Krang I was using is a piece of solid metal and I don't want it denting the table or anything, I got a new stand-in for him. That does not apparently like to stand up. So we will just have him standing there. So with this trap door, what you do is you fold down this ladder looking thing right here. And then, like, let's say the turtles are about to get the upper hand, it's like, if I can get him to stand up, which is going to be a drag. You know what? He will sit. Oh, we got you, Krang. Oh, no, you don't, Turtles. And then you pull down on this, or push over here, open this up, and Krang makes his getaway. It also makes a fancy slide for the Turtles to try and keep up with him. We're coming for you, Krang! Okay, so I've shown you all the action features of this particular Technodrome. And one thing I forgot to mention was that not just the front guns move, but this rear gun moves, but only like up and down and back and forth. Okay, so now that we've gone over the main specs of this one, let's do some comparison, shall we? Ba-ba-ba-ba. Alright, so for starters, as you all can probably tell, this one is all there. It's got both sides to it. It's a full sphere. Instead of having a big gaping hole where if this one was to go into space, everything would just come whoosh, blowing right back out that side and it would fall back to Earth with no pilot and just into the ocean. Whereas this bad boy, this could make it into space if it needed to, but being the underground dwelling of the Krang as well as the Shredder, it did not have to do that. So, to start getting into the comparison here, as mentioned previously, in order to get this one to stay stable, you have to have this little foot right here if you open it up as such. Now the original, this thing didn't have that problem because look at the base on this. That monstrosity, that big square piece of beautiful plastic. So if you just open up one of the doors on this, still stable. You know, can't knock that over unless you like physically topple it. Although, as I was saying, it does actually come with little feet to help keep the doors stable so they don't just, snap off if you put too much pressure on it. And since I've already got it open, and we just discussed the feature of the escape hatch on this Krang, or on this one, with this one, you actually pop this out, and then Krang can just make his getaway and pop that back into place. Then again, with the original playset, the Krang was a much simpler figure. Also, this has far much more detail. All these stickers in here, all the little molded things, like the brainwave monitor, the little thing, the peg that Krang actually sits on. So much good stuff. And as I was saying before, the jail in this one is far bigger and able to hold more figures compared to, again, that. This, by comparison, this ain't got nothing on the one, the only, the classic Technodrome. Now this one I'll get into more detail in a later video because I really want to show you guys all the cool stuff about it. and at the moment it's brilliantly outshining the the new one, even though it's kind of dusty from sitting on my shelf. And one other thing I should note is the quality of the materials used to make both of these. Now, with the modern one, it's kind of flimsy. Like look at this. That's almost rubbery right there. Now the original one, this bad boy, that is some solid sturdy plastic. I will admit it is a little bit malleable, but not to the point where you could just fold this thing in half like a taco. At the same time, though, I can understand why they've decided to move on to such, more easy, malleable plastics, as kids these days apparently don't know how to take good care of their stuff, and they would, if they had one of these, probably just break it the day they got it. Or it could just be that the people who grew up with this one remembered how easy it was to break this one and decided to make their things harder to break. Like another example is Donatello here. His arms are all kind of rubbery. It's nice malleable plastic that's not just going to snap because the joint's too tight or you twisted it the wrong way the first time. But those are just little nitpicks. And again, we will move on to this one in another video. So for now, the glory that is the 1990s, or my apologies, the 1989 Technodrome playset will sit off to the side. Alright, so after going over this whole entire toy here, I'd have to say this Technodrome, while it does not shine as brightly as the original one, it tries. For a toy from 2014, 2016? Yeah, 2016, it tries. It's not a bad playset by any stretch of the imagination, and it's mean of me to basically compare it to the original, even though it is the Technodrome, and as such, has to be compared to what came before. But again, this is just my opinion. If you can find this thing for a good price, personally, I found this on clearance at the Kmart for 35 bucks, 38 bucks, somewhere in there. I would definitely, if you want this in your collection and you've got the space for it, I would definitely give this a look. But that's, again, my opinion. And this is compatible with the other Ninja Turtles that Playmates has been releasing within the past few years. So you don't have to worry about getting these ugly ones if you don't want them. Sorry, Donatello, but you ugly. U-G-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. Well, now that I've gotten that out of my system, if you're interested, I would say pick it up. If not, I'd say give this one a pass. So thank you again so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate you coming back for another video. And as I've begun to start saying, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe for more content from this channel. If you'd like to keep up to date, the subscription would definitely come in handy. And as always, cowabunga, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.